You just stick it down to the surface that you want. Like, I just got a giant splinter.
Wow.
Is there going to be blood? A little bit of blood. We're good. Greetings, fellow makers. Welcome down to the shop. We are live here on our Twitch channel today with our wonderful prop tarts in the chat. And I'm going to be working on a lightsaber kit, a little 3D printed kit. And I figured I might want a little bit of help with this. Not only that, I could really go for a crisp high five. That's right! Look who's here! It's Joel!
I am Joel, the 3D printing nerd.
Purveyor of crisp high fives.
And purveyor of crisp.
Yeah!
That's right.
We have with us a bunch of parts. I have
So
my
many
parts.
So
Joel
many.
has his
I
parts.
have my parts.
And these are Sean Charlesworth's design of his own lightsaber. And what we're going to do is trim them up and paint and assemble them and finish them up together. So I have mine. Joel has his.
I have mine.
What did you print that with?
I printed mine on the Formlabs Form 2 resin printer with various resins.
I did the same thing when I still had that 3D printer, which is now at your house.
Yeah, but you used a single resin, whereas I used
You had all the right
different
colors.
resins. We'll see.
Well, we're going to get to work here. We're going to start by trimming everything, and then we'll get to painting. So far, we've just been doing a lot of trimming. All of these pieces have this support material in there, and some of them will actually just fall away really easily, like that. We've got some flush cut nippers here to trim away anything else. So we're just slowly and diligently taking the support material off of the 3D printed parts here. With mostly painless. This is really nice. The filament or the resin, SLA resin, is super duper nice, but it is rigid and can be brittle. So we've had a couple of things break, but we just glued them back together. It's just so tiny.
So tiny.
I know Sean printed this just to see if he could, and he did.
That would surprise me.
We've continued the trimming. You can see that Joel has amassed quite a pile of parts over there. And I think I'm pretty much done with my trimming. Some of the pieces I've left on the support so that it's easier to paint them. And then, and then I grabbed the instructions. Sean put together some really good instructions. There's a PDF. We'll have a link to all of this. You can go download it. But there are a lot of parts, so we're going to follow the instructions. The next thing I want to do is the magnets. So this is my bucket of magnets here. These are the magnets. These are tiny little magnets. Each one of these is a 1/8 by 1/16 disc. And they should fit. These have little holes in them. They should fit right in there. And that one's just in there now. It's a very snug fit. I could probably get it out.
Test successful.
I could probably get it out. I want to put a little bit of glue in there to glue them down. So that's what's happening next. I may not need glue. It may just go right in.
That didn't seem like it wanted out.
Here's what I'm going to try. I'm going to just press that one in. Boop, like that. Just like that. And I believe that is in there now. And I will put the next one in. I just have a stack in my hand, and I'm just going to press it in. Like that. And then I will stick one. Oops, that one's coming out. I'll just press it in a little better. Oh yeah, it's in there. There we go. I'll just stick another one on each thing, and then I'll jam this one on there, and then I know that they're the right polarity. So I'll just mash this one together.
That's a great way to do it.
Like that. Ta-da!
And you didn't even have to put in any glue.
I don't think we need any glue. I don't think we need any glue. You want to do one?
Yes.
Okay, so this one's a little bit loose. So I will put a little bit of super glue in there.
But I can do it to these ones.
Like that.
Oh, see, I don't have another side of this.
Oh no. No, you don't. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Should we print one out right now?
I guess we could.
Yeah. We've got our pieces magneted, good to go. And I want to paint mine. I want to do some real painting, so I'm going to prime it with this spray primer. But first, I want to stick my pieces down so that they don't go flying everywhere. So I've got some pieces of wood here, and this is a double-sided tape. You just stick it down to the surface that you want. Like, I just got a giant splinter.
Wow.
Is there going to be blood? A little bit of blood. We're good.
And it wasn't me! That's surprising.
The next step after the splinter is to peel away the backing on this, so you've got a sticky surface there. Like that. Oh, splinters are the worst.
The worst.
The worst splinter I ever got was a metal splinter that went through the top of my nail and into my finger. And I had to wait months for it to grow out.
For the splinter to grow out?
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
It's so bad. And after you've peeled away your tape, you can take your pieces and just lay them down there, and they will hold onto that. And now I can spray paint it, or airbrush it with reckless abandon. Some of these parts, if I have to paint both sides, I may spray it and then flip it over and spray the other side. But for now, I'm just going to tack them down so that I can spray them. We primed all our pieces. How'd it go, Joel?
It went really well. I was surprised at how easy it was to prime the pieces.
Very good. So they're ready to go for paint. It's actually pretty much dry, too, and we only had to wait a good 10 minutes.
Didn't take long.
And one nice thin layer of primer. Now I've sorted all my parts, and I think most of them are going to get a base coat of silver, and I'm going to paint on top of that. So I have some silver acrylic paint here. This is Tamiya Chrome Silver, and I'm going to thin it with some rubbing alcohol. Most acrylics you can thin with water. To me, this stuff you can actually thin with alcohol, and I like that because you can. It'll dry really fast. The alcohol evaporates really fast, so the paint is nice and thin for the airbrush, and it will dry really, really fast. So that's going to get thrown in our airbrush, and we will paint. That's a siphon airbrush. It pulls paint from the bottom using air. And it's a single action, so you just push the button and it sprays out paint. Alright, so I've got a little eyedropper here, so I'll load you up with a little bit of paint. This is the cleanest way to do this. Pouring can get messy. You'll be surprised how little paint you need.
Really?
For this type of work.
This is my first time airbrushing, so just pop it on, right?
Yep, pop it on, screw the cap together. Mine is gravity fed. This guy here, so it's got a hopper on the top, and I'll do the same thing. I'll just put paint in.
And so your hopper's tiny.
Yes, it is, but it is really easy to add more paint to this, or you can even mix paint right in the hopper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that is the benefit. If you're doing large batches of stuff, something like that can be way handy. Paper towel. There you go. I got paint coming out.
I'll see if I got paint coming out.
I will start with this guy over here. Let's say. Just tack this down on a piece of thing. And then I will paint it with this airbrush. Is it still kind of spurty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that.
Can I get the top edge?
Yeah, that's good. Okay. So I could even just put on rubber glove. Like this. And just hold it. Just do this. Like that. Like that. Well, I'm encroaching on your territory.
You're over the line, but it's okay.
Yeah. just sneak back there. I want to add a little bit of contrast, so I've been painting the tips of these a darker metallic color. I'll do the same thing on this one here. I'm just using some masking tape to mask off the part I want to stay silver. And just like that. Then I'll just go over this part with my airbrush and with a little bit of a darker paint. There we go. Just a little bit of a darker color there. And if I take the tape off, now I've quickly added a little bit of contrast to that part.
Wow, that turned out really good.
Pretty neat. That part goes there. I think I'm going to start assembling some of these pieces as I paint. This whole part's kind of cool. This clear tube thing goes in, I believe like this, and then this part goes in like that. And then all 10 of these pieces go on it. And I'm going to double check that I've lined them up the right way. I've got a PDF right there with all of the instructions. And that looks correct. So I'm going to put a dab of glue on this guy. Whoop. Like that. There we go. Let that set. I'll do the same thing over here, and I want to make sure that these bars line up because I have to put those longer parts in there. There we go. That's all lined up, and now these little pieces glue in just like that. And
before you glue those in, should you make sure they line up with that?
Do they actually go in there, or do they just... I don't think they fit in that.
Oh, they don't?
Are they supposed to?
For some reason, I thought they did.
I mean, I could drill that out so that it does.
Maybe it doesn't. I thought they were.
I think maybe it's just supposed to come close.
Oh.
I'll just double check on the picture here. Sean has done a great job. Oh, no. Wires go through this into that part. Like that. So there's supposed to be a gap there. Look at it. And then he put wires. See, that's...
Oh.
Yeah. So this part, I can safely glue these down.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure that they're not skewed one way or the other. That they are as close to true as possible. So just a little bit of glue here. And I'm doing this right on the paint. Normally I would sand that, but I'm not too worried about it. This isn't going to be getting thrown around. So that part goes on there. And I just make sure it's as centered as possible. Like that. And then all of these pieces go into here. So that they just kind of get hidden behind that.
Got it. Okay.
So I'll just keep gluing all thit's down. It looks kind of cool. We're still plugging along here. Joel's making some good progress.
Well, I was until...
It's been a rocky road. It's cool. Here's my little manifold part there. It's all done, ready to go.
It really looks good. You did a fantastic...
cool.
I like the two color.
Yeah, that's nice. So that's going to go in the body somewhere. I'm going to figure out what I want to paint next. For the next stage of the painting, we are adding a masking fluid. These silver parts are going to stay silver underneath, and we'll paint them a color on top. But I want to add this masking fluid, which is just this would be a liquid latex. And I'm just brushing it on parts that I want to make look like the paint is chipped off and that there is silver paint underneath. So this just brushes on, like so. On like the edges and stuff where it would get all beat up. Just sort of dragging some scratches. I'm just adding this masking fluid. We'll paint over this, spray paint over it, and then we'll peel that away and it'll look awesome. We put our masking fluid on our parts here, and this part's going to be blue. So I got blue in my airbrush, and I'm just going to completely cover it. And the spots that have the masking fluid on there, you can actually kind of see them. Those will get rubbed off later. Cool.
That is a good blue.
That's nice. All right, you ready? For which part are you doing blue?
I had... That's a fun noise.
Yeah. You blow bubbles back into it, and that kind of mixes it up a little bit. So that guy right there. All right, so hold the board.
Yeah.
We'll do it out here so everyone can see.
Okay.
And this goes in your right hand, and now you push down to let air come out, and then pull back to pull paint out.
Okay.
And you can just crank on it because you want lots of paint. Yeah. That's cool. You can still see some of the silver through it.
I like it.
Yeah. Once the paint is dry, it's mostly dry, you can actually just rub your finger across the spots that have the masking fluid on it and peel it away to get that amazing chipped look.
Alright, so mine's going to take a little bit longer
You
to
might
dry.
give it another minute. But look at that.
That's fine.
That's really cool.
Is it ever not amazing?
No, this is the
You know what I
best.
mean?
This is like the best.
You've been doing this a while, right?
Yeah.
So it's never to the point where you're like,
Oh, I have to do
this
that part
is-
now."
I guess I have to do this awesome thing.
And then this part goes inside of there.
And
Pretty
there we
cool.
go. Wait, I have one of those.
It's really cool.
Like this.
Mm-hmm. Everything is laid out. Actually, I painted
This.
the orange and the blue, or it's blue, orange and white, and I can peel the masking fluid off of these parts
Oh,
now too.
okay.
Boy, that looks really cool with the orange.
It does. It looks great.
You can even buff through a little bit to get just a little bit of a shine through there. If you go too heavy, you will go down to the plastic,
Oh, you don't want that.
but you can just scuff it a tiny bit to make it look just a little bit more worn. In fact, if we were to put the metal down, the silver, oh, that looks so cool. If we were to put the silver down first, and then clear coat it with like a catalyzed automotive clear, a really durable one, and then paint over that, you could then use, like, if you wanted to buff the edges, you could buff it with steel wool, and it wouldn't chew all the way.
Oh, so
through
we
the
go all the way
plastic.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, or you could there's some the goo on that too.
Is there goo on this?
You could also use solvents to sort of peel away some of the edges and stuff. Like, there's some really cool stuff you can do with automotive.
How did you learn
Paints.
about this stuff?
This is all I do all day, every day. This is my life. So now we're ready for assembly. So we're just going to be following Sean's instructions. And the next thing to do is to, let's see, I believe this part gets glued there. And this part, that part gets glued in there. And this part gets glued in there. That seems easy enough.
What?
See that part right there. This one goes there. That one goes there.
But this is removable, so we need to glue it only to this.
Oh, that I'm very happy that you pointed that out. I almost glued that all together. Go team. All right, so I'm just gluing it to this half.
Okay, I got some. Where did I do it?
Well, let's do a little bit more here. I really hope Sean was watching when I made that incredible blunder. So that part goes there.
He had to go away for dinner.
Oh, okay. So now that part is together, but this part still snaps over it.
Yes, that's the goal.
Very good. Just like that. Okay, then this one doesn't have anything special. This part just goes in like that. So again, I'll just glue it up and attach it. Gonna spray the end of this with some activator and Bob's your uncle. Just like that.
Bob's
Oh,
my
I want to make
uncle.
sure that the holes kind of line up. And then
Yeah, you should.
making some progress here. This emitter part is put together. These all just sort of slide together. The next part is going to be the crystals. You got your crystals, Joel?
Yes, I'm well versed in crystals.
So there are these parts and this part, and the other one. This is meant to hold the switch into place. I don't have a switch, so I'm gonna hold off on that.
I have a switch.
All right, but we'll do the crystals. So this part right here just holds a little 5mm LED, and it just gets glued into place like that. So that's a piece of cake. A little super glue here and there.
Wait, but can we wire it up after gluing all this?
Probably.
Because I wonder if I should wire mine up.
So here's this. I'm just showing how that crystal goes in place there. Into this little housing. And then these little holders slide over this crystal. Like that. To hold it in place. Like so. For that one, I'm going to just put a dab of glue on them. So I'm very carefully putting just a tiny bit of glue on those. Like so, just to kind of lightly hold it in place. Because I don't want to obscure the crystal too much with a ton of glue. There you go, those two little crystal parts. Good to go.
I'm right behind you.
So some of these other parts that may need wires and electronics, maybe we just set them in place in the body of the lightsaber, and then we'll just do the wiring later.
Okay.
Joel, we got a bunch of pieces.
We got a bunch of pieces. A bunch of pieces.
Pretty cool. I know that I'm going to come back and do some more painting on this at a later time, but I figure we can just show how this whole thing goes together.
Yeah.
You got it figured out?
I think so.
Okay. It's designed to be an display piece, so these pieces can come apart. But Sean made a really cool little thing that socks together really well. So these parts basically go like that, and then these are the display parts that clamp over it with the magnets. Like so. Like that. Actually, I forgot. These parts right here, we'll come back and wire these. These get lights in them. So that's another thing. That goes like that. That goes like that. This is where the button lives. That goes in there. This goes over that. And that goes over there.
Oh, okay, I see.
And that's my little lightsaber.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. I'm going to not glue everything together right now. Again, like I said, I want to run wires in there and do some more painting. These are the rubber pieces. So these rubber grips go in there. Those will get glued down later, I think.
I'll glue mine at home.
Yeah. This is a little belt clip that goes in and helps hold some of the parts together. And then this is a little rubber switch that goes in there to turn it on and off. But I don't have the switch yet, so I'm going to get some of those parts and do some more work later. But there you go. So here's mine with the hard to do one-handed. Those parts in there. Those parts in there. Those will all get glued together. There's that. Ah! And then there's Joel's. It's not together yet. It's getting there. Very cool. There we go. Not a bad way to spend an afternoon. The last 4 hours or so.
4 or so.
That was a really fun kit. Sean has the files for free if you want to go download them and print it yourself to do your own kit, which I highly recommend. And yeah, that was a fun afternoon. We got some more work to do that we'll probably do later. You got this whole wiring kit?
Got the wiring kit to do, and I'll do that at home. And any of these flexible parts that attach right here, those are going to be done at home as well.
Yes. Very cool. Well, Sean, you're not Sean. You're Joel.
No, but thanks to
Thanks,
Sean.
Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
For the cool kit. Joel, thank you for hanging out today.
Thanks for teaching me some cool stuff.
Absolutely. Where can the folks at home find your things?
If you want to find me, you can go to the3dprintingnerd.com or search for 3D printing on YouTube, and you'll find me that way.
Perfect. Thanks for hanging out in the live stream, you guys, and we'll see you all next time.